JakePaul and Artur Beef had a heated press conference ahead of their big fight in October, but what happened backstage grabbed even more headlines. JakePaul attacked none other than Mike Tyson. Classic Jake, he couldn't resist making the Dmitry V's Artur Press all about himself. While Dmitry and Artur were focused on their upcoming bout, Jake made his entrance, walking right past Iron Mike. You could feel the tension in the air. Unsurprisingly, Jake couldn't keep quiet and hurled some verbal jabs at Tyson. But with Mike, it's all about respect, and Jake was crossing the line. Tyson, known for his no-nonsense attitude, wasn't having any of it, and things escalated from there. Once again, Jake's knack for stealing the spotlight created a buzz, turning the attention away from the main event and onto his confrontation with the legendary fighter. Here's the kicker, Jake wasn't his usual cocky self this time. He was sweating bullets, and you know what that means, right? When Jake's losing it, he doubles down on the trash talk. But this time, the problem child didn't just run his mouth, he crossed all kinds of lines. One thing led to another, and before anyone could blink, it turned into a full-blown brawl. Fists were flying, chaos erupted, and it was total madness. Security had to rush in to break things up because it was spiraling out of control. Jake might bitten off more than he can chew this time. But hey, that's what happens when you poke the bear, especially a bear like Mike Tyson.
You've had fighters from 147 to 168 call you out, right? Some big names. Why Camille?
Dmitry Bivol and Bev were both at the press conference, each doing their best to hype up their upcoming fight. They were trading verbal shots, trying to get under each other's skin, just as you'd expect from two world-class fighters. But let's be honest, no one stirs the pot quite like JakePaul. Whether you love him or hate him, you have to admit Jake has a unique talent for keeping all eyes on him. When it comes to hyping up a fight, nobody does it better. The guy is a walking headline, but this backstage brawl, it took things to a whole new level of chaos. Here's the kicker, Jake has his own fight lined up against Mike Tyson on November 15th, 2024, at the T Arena. And honestly, it feels like he's pulling out all the stops to make sure no one forgets about it. Jake's antics at the Dmitry V's Artur Press Conference seemed less about their fight and more about grabbing some extra attention for his own pay-per-view. Classic Jake, right? In a last-ditch effort to boost hype for his own fight, JakePaul pulled a classic move, stealing the spotlight from two legends like Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beef. Typical Jake, right? Here's how it all went down. While Dmitry and Artur were on stage trading verbal jabs, trying to build up tension for their fight, Jake was backstage, waiting for the perfect moment to make it all about him. He walks past Iron Mike Tyson, and you could just sense things were about to explode. Jake, being Jake, starts running his mouth, trash-talking in only the way he can. But you know how Tyson is. The man lives by respect, and when someone crosses that line, he doesn't let it slide. Feeling bold, Jake fired shots at Tyson, disrespecting the legend right to his face. And with Jake, you know it doesn't stop at just words. Once the trash talk starts, it's only a matter of time before fists start flying. JakePaul's ego wouldn't let things slide, and before anyone knew it, he was throwing punches. Yes, you heard that right. He actually put his hands on Mike Tyson. And Tyson, oh, he didn't hold back. The guy still hands that could put any fighter to sleep, and Jake was about to learn that the hard way. Tyson's entourage and Jake's crew quickly jumped in, trying to keep things from spiraling, but it was too late. The backstage area erupted into an all-out brawl, with fists flying from both sides. It was pure chaos. Security rushed in, but even then it was tough to pull the two apart. Jake, swinging wildly, was trying to land shots on Tyson, while Tyson, cool as ever, was defending himself like a seasoned pro. You could tell Tyson wasn't trying to seriously hurt Jake, but he was definitely sending a message. Jake might have started the fight, but if no one stepped in, Tyson was ready to finish it. Let's break down the fight mechanics for a second. JakePaul's style is wild and aggressive. We've seen it in the ring before. He loves to come out swinging hard and fast, hoping to overwhelm his opponent. That's exactly what he tried with Tyson, launching a flurry of hooks and wild punches. But Tyson, he's a defensive master. With his legendary head movement, he slipped Jake's punches with ease, making Jake look reckless. Tyson's counters were absolutely lethal. Even at his age, he still has the power to drop anyone. Jake didn't stop at punches. Either he kept firing off insults, trying to get under Tyson's skin, but all it did was make things worse. Tyson, who's been through real wars in the ring, wasn't fazed by Jake's trash talk. If anything, it fueled him to keep showing Jake why he's still a legend. Tyson was biding his time, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and when he did, the gap in experience was crystal clear. Jake was wild and undisciplined, throwing haymakers, while Tyson remained calm and precise, ready to exploit Jake's mistakes. As the entourages jumped in, chaos erupted. Jake's team tried to hold him back, but he wasn't having it. He kept pushing forward, swinging at anyone in his path. Meanwhile, Tyson's crew was trying to de-escalate the situation, but as you know, once these things start, they're nearly impossible to stop. Everyone was shouting, punches were flying from all directions, and security scrambled to restore order. It was pure mayhem, with both sides struggling to control the situation.
To keep the peace.
This isn't the first time JakePaul has completely lost his cool. The guy's earned his nickname, Problem Child, for a reason. We've already seen him brawl with Floyd Mayweather and Nate Diaz, but remember when he went off at that heated Mike Tyson press conference on August 18th in New York City? That was wild. Jake has been stirring up chaos at presses for a while now to keep people talking, but this incident was on a whole different level. Press conferences in the world of combat sports aren't just about promoting the fight. They're also about building hype, and Jake knows how to capitalize on that, even if it means crossing the line. Fighters use press conferences to get into each other's heads, plant seeds of doubt, and get fans buzzing. It's all part of the show, a big spectacle designed to ensure everyone can't wait for fight night. Dmitry and Artur knew this going into their presser, aiming to hype up their fight and draw as much attention as possible. But of course, JakePaul had to steal the spotlight as he always does. He wasn't even the main event at that press conference, yet he made sure everyone was talking about him. Back to that August 18th press conference, Jake was trying to sell his fight against Mike Tyson, but you could see he was sweating bullets. This wasn't just some YouTuber or retired athlete he was trash talking. He was facing Mike Tyson, a literal living legend in the world of combat sports. Tyson's presence alone is enough to send chills down anyone's spine, and Jake felt it. You could see the fear creeping in his usual cocky demeanor was faltering, and he started blabbering whatever words came to mind without thinking twice. It was a classic moment of Jake trying to maintain his bravado while clearly feeling the pressure of the situation.
Go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before, you needed a little break. Your tummy hurt?
Jake was nervous, there's no doubt about it. And when he's nervous, he just starts talking. And not in a good way. He stumbled over his words, making little sense. And it was clear to everyone watching that he was completely out of his depth. It was the kind of cringe moment that makes you want to look away but also keeps you glued to the screen because it's so awkward. You could literally see Tyson's calm, intimidating aura making Jake tremble in his boots. The energy was electric, but for Jake it felt utterly suffocating.
This is what it's all about for me, man. I'm a kid from Ohio. New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago.
Fans weren't having any of it. This was Mike Tyson, one of the most respected figures in the fight world. You can trash talk a lot of people, but going after Tyson? That's a whole different ballgame. Jake was straight up disrespecting him, and the fans could feel it. The room was buzzing with tension, but instead of hyping up the crowd, Jake was turning them against him. People were booing, and it was clear that the problem child had crossed the line. This wasn't the first time Jake disrespected a legend, but watching him fall apart at the seams while trying to do it, yeah, it was a bad look. Make no mistake, Tyson is not someone to underestimate, especially in the ring. Jake may think he got under Tyson's skin with all his talk about health, but come fight night, Tyson will let his fist do the talking. We'll just have to wait and see how everything plays out. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on this recent brawl? Fill the comments section below, and I'll catch you in the next video.